All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth, with Ben Jokes. Take back what is left of Nigeria, Falana tells youths. Now, many will say Falana in recent times has been a sort of controversial figure, but sometimes you just have to completely leave the messenger and take the message. Nigeria has a teeming youth population, able-bodied, brilliant minds with enormous potentials, but as it stands, most of them can't even comfortably feed their stomachs. Many don't have where to lay their heads, let alone develop their God-given talents, all because of a corrupt few, a corrupt elite and political class that is not up to 0.005% of the country's population. And just as Falana has said, if the youth can rise to resist the political class, they can salvage what is left of this country. We live in a country where someone became head of state at around 28 to 30 years old. Today, that same Yakubu Gowon is proud to see 35-year-old Nigerians roaming the streets jobless, and he's still defending the evil of this administration. Something has to give. And few hours ago, a noteworthy report came out of Edo State just few weeks after 16 so-called Fulani hunters were lynched in Edo State after they were caught with weapons. Another group of Fulanis claiming to be hunters have been caught with weapons in Edo State. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update that further shows the crisis within the APC began making the rounds. APC governor brutally attacks the TINUBU cabinet after a bomb blast occurred in his state, courtesy of Boko Haram. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video.
But let me take you to your state, Borno State. You saw what Governor Zulum said. Yeah. And that comes from someone who has been to the battleground and he has also physically seen attacks. Is there anything to worry about? I thought that things are
I'm worried. I'm worried here. I'm worried. I told you sometimes back, remember when this Wajirko was attacked and where we lost a major in Damboa,
Yeah.
So these things, and then last time they attacked Sabongari, displaced them. The governor called an emergency meeting of the expanded security. And what the governor said there is true. And he's so worried about it. He also came there just yesterday and called another emergency meeting for us to go and see those service chiefs. We visited the chief of army staff. We visited the chief of naval staff. We visited
chief of air staff.
Chief of air staff. We visited minister of works. And then he visited, that is after that, because it was evening and I was fasting, we had to excuse. He also visited Minister of Planning, all in the same day. Today, he went back. That was what brought him. And he called us and said, look, this thing is getting out of hand. What do we do? Let's go and talk to these service chiefs to see whether they can up their game to see where. And this, to be honest with you, they are trying. But let me give you a sad thing that comes out of this. After the governor and our 8 emirs, all the service chiefs agreed that there is the need for him to come here, talk to those that matters in the area of security about the situation in Borno and the relapse and the such. And then the minister somewhere was saying that Nigerians should ignore Zulum. I felt very bad.
He said he did.
And this is part of what I call where you have kakitocrats in the system. If somebody knows what he's doing as a minister, he should be able to run to Zulum and ask for what he can do to assist him, not to just sit down in his comfort. And in fact, I even understand that he's out of the country when he issued that statement that the governor should be ignored. How can you ignore the chief security officer of the state?
Now, what was described in that video is very, very shameful. A governor gives a security report of his state, and a minister said the governor should be ignored by Nigerians. That all that he's saying are inconsequential, that the administration has done so well. That is propaganda taken too far. Propaganda taken to a despicable level. But both the governor and the minister are APC members, and that is my joy. I love the level of confusion that has hit that party. You know, they never had good intentions for the country coming together in the first place, and now they have had enough of each other's evil. So the CPC and the ACN factions of the party are pulling apart. They are pulling away from each other, and it is my prayer and that of every patriotic Nigerian that the disastrous chaos that is in the APC right now continues until it tears the party apart properly. Tinubu's Minister of Information speaking like a tout. That office has been denigrated by the APC from Lai Mohammed to Mohammed Idris. I remember when we had the likes of Frank Iweke Jr. under Obasanjo. The APC has really set this nation back on all fronts. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update from Edo State. Another group of Fulanis who call themselves hunters have been caught with guns. And next is that update from the APC governor tears into Tinubu's cabinet brutally after Boko Haram dropped a bomb that killed 8 people in his state. Let's start by taking that update from Edo State. Look at how the papers reported it. Edo Security Network arrests 4 armed travelers in Benin after Uromi lynching, recovers weapons, Sahara reporters. Operatives of Edo State Security Network (ESN) have arrested 4 suspected armed travelers in Benin City, Edo State, recovering weapons in a swift operation aimed at curbing insecurity in the state. These suspects, Yusuf Abdulkarim, Mujahid Garba, Shitu Idris, and Jamilu Habibu, were intercepted at Ikpoba Hill while traveling from Dogua in Kano State to Uve community in Oron local government area of Edo State. According to the spokesman for the Edo State Police Command CSP Moses Joel Yamu, the operation led to the recovery of 3 Dane guns, 6 empty cartridges, 3 half-filled cartridges, 4 cutlasses, and 2 daggers from the suspects. The incident, which took place less than a month after at least 16 armed travelers were lynched by locals in Uromi, Esan Northeast LGA, has stirred renewed public concern over the influx of armed individuals into the state. Addressing the circulating rumors, CSP Yamu debunked reports suggesting that 4 armed headsmen were arrested at a hotel in the Ramat Park area of Benin City. The Edo Command is aware of a misinformation on the social media that 4 headsmen armed with guns were arrested at Americanus Hotel on Osowemkai Street after Big Joe Motors Ramat Park Orogbeni quarters handed over to the police, he said. Preliminary investigation reveals that they are hunters, not headsmen. They were from Dogua in Kano State, heading to Uve community in Oron local government area of Edo State. Meanwhile, investigation is ongoing. They will not tell you that they are headsmen now. They will always tell you that they are hunters. You see, I don't know why we are not prepared to have honest discussions in this country, especially in southern Nigeria. We are facing insecurity in Nigeria, very serious one. And with all due respect, we know that the Fulanis are the common ethnic factor in all this. Every state you go to, the victims will say that Fulanis are the ones killing them. Now, these same Fulanis will load themselves in a truck with guns and say that they are hunters. You travel from Kano State to go and hunt in Edo State. Who does that? Why Edo? Why you no stop for road? And these same citizens are complaining, the same Edo State citizens are complaining daily that their women are getting raped and kidnapped and their men killed and their heads taken off by these same Fulanis. This is 1 + 1 and it equals 2. Why are southern leaders shying away from having this discussion openly and honestly? And Jet Daniel here says, this is how it was in Jos until they could arrest no more because the police and the government didn't prosecute. I'm seeing the same pattern here. It is left for the people to defend their land. This must be somebody from Jos. He's seeing a repeated pattern here in Edo State. And Ochichi here says, what is happening in Benin? They are building a war camp there. But what do I know? The kind of deals these undeserving people made to become governor must be appalling. That is it. Okpebolo, the state governor, is the first person to jump up and defend this Fulani invasion of Edo State. I don't know the kind of deals that these people make. How can you sell out your own people just because you want to be governor for 8 years? So what happens after you leave office? It's such a shame. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to this, that update on APC Governor Babagana Zulum attacking the TINUBU cabinet began making the rounds. Few days ago, Zulum came out to complain about how insecurity was worsening in Borno State, but the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, said Zulum should be ignored. Now, Boko Haram has bombed a part of Borno State, killing 8 people and injuring many. And Babagana Zulum, the state governor, came all out attacking the minister. Look at how the papers reported it. You are naive. Borno Governor Zulum lambasts Tinubu's information minister after fresh Boko Haram attack. Sahara reporters. The Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has criticized Nigeria's Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, accusing him of being naive about the country's security situation. The governor's statement came on the heels of an attack on the Damboa-Maiduguri road on Saturday, where 8 people were killed by an explosive device planted by Boko Haram insurgents. Governor Zulum made this known shortly after the deadly incident that left 7 others severely injured and 14 others with minor injuries. In his response, Governor Zulum said, "I believe the Minister of Information is naive about what is happening in the country. He doesn't know what is ongoing in the country." What an insult for the Minister of Information not to know anything about what is happening in the country. He expressed concerns over the minister's recent comments regarding the state's security and called for better understanding of the situation on the ground. Another user on X at official Azaki also confirmed the attack, saying a bomb blast has just occurred along Damboa Road to Maiduguri. Sadly, 8 lives were lost and several others have been taken to the hospital with injuries. Please pray for victims. But the Minister of Information is oblivious. He doesn't know anything that is happening in Nigeria. That is what the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, has said. That is how he has described Mohammed Idris. You know, he has to pander to all the propaganda. Nuhu Ribadu, Chief of Army Staff, all of them going around saying that they have, 90% defeated insurgency, that security is far, far better than what it used to be. So when you come up with a counter claim, as Babagana Zulum did, that look, we are losing grounds, that even the previous successes we recorded, we are beginning to lose them again to Boko Haram. They will not like such truth because they are busy lying to the people on the internet, lying to the people in all their, public fora that they are doing well, that they are in charge of the security situation. But that is not true. And it is evident in this recent occurrence. When was the last time Boko Haram bombed anywhere in Nigeria? When was the last time? But under the TINUBU administration, they have resumed bombing again. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take a few tweet reactions. Just Start here says, Northern Nigeria is under siege. There are too many ungoverned territories in Nigeria. Criminal gangs are overrunning this country. It appears politicians are responsible for insecurity across Nigeria. Scores of people get killed each day across Nigeria. These killings must stop. Well, the killings are supposed to stop. The killings should stop. It doesn't make sense that lives will be wasting daily in Nigeria. But I know one thing for a fact. The powers that be have a hand in all this. And to put it clearly, the APC has a hand in all this. Because we never had this level of insecurity in Nigeria before these guys came in. It was when that party was formed that they began bringing in all these evil guys to make Nigeria ungovernable for Jonathan. And now I believe that even they, if they want to control these guys, they cannot do it again. Because they had a deal. And they must keep to their own part of the bargain. And that is why I keep saying that for us to get rid of this level of insecurity in Nigeria, we must get rid of the APC, because the APC are tied to it. we cannot rid ourselves. We can't restore this country to what it used to be from 2010 to 2012 unless we get rid of the APC. And how do we do that? Nigerians must cast their sentiments aside, because a divided Nigeria can never break the power of this cult. Nigerians must say, no, we cannot continue like this to suffer in a country that has all it takes to be one of the greatest countries in the world. And when they say that, they can come together to unite and take their country back. But until then, make I still enter town, make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una na I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.